love to prep. I am not talking against prepping. I know it sounds like maybe I am, but I'm not. I love prepping. I think prepping is a really important part of our life. But the prepping that I did become an obsession. Well, good morning everyone, and welcome to my channel. You know, it's all about living abundantly on very little. So today's discussion is going to be how prepping made me broke. So these are the type of videos I'm going to share with you, intimate parts of my life and some of the pitfalls of my life, some of the things I did that's really well, some of the things that were big mistakes. I am opening a conversation with all of you. In doing so, I'm hoping that maybe I can give you a little bit of insight as to my way of thinking, or insight of some changes in my life, and insight on just different topics that have to do with spending money and saving money. So prepping made me broke. Let me give you a little bit of a disclaimer at first, because I love to prep. I am not talking against prepping. I know it sounds like maybe I am, but I'm not. I love prepping. I think prepping is a really important part of our life. But the prepping that I did become an obsession. And my way of prepping caused me to become broke. So let me explain to all of you. Whenever I would prep and I would buy lots of food, then I thought I need to have the special jars that went with it. Beautiful jars that cost $20, $30, $40 for 6 of them. I would see on YouTube and all of these beautiful videos where people had these beautiful jars lined up with all of their food. To me, it was a little bit of a look of it all. It wasn't just about prepping and having a lot of food. It was having it so perfectly in order and having all new jars, all new everything, Mylar bags. You know, I was sinking money into totes to put this food in, and organizing the food and redoing all the food over and over and over again. I got to the point where I had way too much prepping food. Is making sure that I had to have new jars, new bags, new Mylar bags, new shelving units, new this, new that, to put all the food on. So not only was I getting all this food, but I wanted to have these rooms, massive grocery store rooms, but I had to get new labels, new chalkboard paint, new everything. I ended up paying 10 times the amount for the food just for all of the things, the knickknacks to put the food in. And that was a pitfall for me, and that is what was starting to cause me to be broke. And of course, as soon as I get out here, it starts to rain. So I have to switch positions. So let's keep that train of thought going. I wrote some notes down because I wanted to get all of my thoughts really well for all of you, so you can understand where I'm coming from. Writing down my thoughts really make it so much easier for me, so I don't miss out on anything. I have a lot of new subscribers, and so a lot of times they aren't familiar with me or familiar with my background, and so they say, wait, what are you talking about? So I try not to repeat myself over and over again, but yet I have to give a little bit of a summary about my life. I would buy massive amounts of food when I seen a discount. I'm sure all of you have seen that. When I go to the grocery store and I see a discounted item, I don't just buy 1 or 2 or 3. I would buy whole cases of it. Cases and cases of food. My goal is to only have one room where I have all of my excess prepping food. Get rid of all of the food in that bedroom and move it out. Of course, that's not going to happen this year. But see, I have 2 years. So I have 2 years to prepare. So you'll see in my titles, preparing for a Social Security budget. Yes. My channel in these 2 years are going to be all about living on very little to prepare myself for Social Security budget income. So when my husband gets Social Security, that's the income that we are really going to be relying on. And so we are working on that now. The $800 a month is what we are doing to gear ourselves up for a lower income and Social Security budget. And so you won't be seeing me doing a lot of prepping. Now, with that being said, if I see a real good bargain on something I use all the time, you will see me stock up a little bit on that. But come on, how many hundreds of pounds of flour do I really need? How many hundreds of pounds of oatmeal? You hear and see all the time these channels, stock it to the rooftops, stock it to the ceiling. I don't really believe in that mentality. So with the administration, everybody's saying, oh, taxes are going to be so much higher with, you know, all of these tariffs and things like that. I don't know anything about that. I can't go ahead and tell you, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. But doomsday and negativity is very popular on YouTube. And so people will always find anything in the negative. I don't know if that's going to make a difference. But the whole theory is every year it's a different subject, but a different outcome. Buy, 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 buy. Buy this, buy that, buy it now. It won't have it tomorrow. Buy, 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 buy. And I fed into that. And it's every year. It's every year. Come on, every year, ever since Y2K. Every year, it's some disastrous thing that we need to just go crazy and stock up food on. That was making me broke. I do have the food now. I am able to live off of it now. So it is a catch-22. So I am able to use this food now, but I was just spending my life buying and just buying things to put the food in, buying this and buying that. I was obsessing over it. And so there is a difference. So in my videos, you're just gonna have to find your own balance in your life. What is your balance? Maybe your balance is something different than mine. I'm just sharing with you my life. So I'm not telling you don't prep. I am not telling you to don't do this and don't do that. I'm just saying with my life at age 55, I am in a no nonsense mood. No nonsense mood. And that is, listen, I gotta take care of myself, but I don't need 3 years worth of food, okay? And right now I'm dealing with all this food. I'm grateful for the food, but I'm dealing with it. And by the age my husband is 62, I don't wanna have so much surplus. I wanna have it just nice, a nice, healthy. I was not being healthy. I was being obsessive with it. So if you're not obsessive with and you're not getting broke over what you're doing, you go ahead and keep doing that. But for me, I was getting broke for it. Well, I had to make a YouTube video and it had to be a perfect set. I had to have all of these nice jars that all of these people, these big influencers recommend. I want to be a big influencer. What did it do to me? It made me deeper and deeper and deeper into spending and made me so miserable because I am not that kind of content creator. I am not an influencer on somebody to make you spend money because that's just not me. And so hoarding, prepping made me broke. See, I'm not just gonna tell you what I'm doing, I'm actually gonna be showing you. So I'm showing you what I'm doing in my daily videos. Now you're going to be seeing some decluttering. I'm not doing a whole lot of that because I bought the stuff already. So to me, it doesn't seem very practical to just get rid of all of it like I did in the past. Get rid of all of it and then what? Not have it and then wish you had some of the stuff and then you want to buy it again. No. I'm decluttering, but I'm also using it. This is the year of not consumerism, using it up, using it up, using it up, and doing without. Now, I really don't have to do without because you all know the kind of food that I have. But if prepping to you has got to an obsession with you, remember that sometimes we have to step back of our own lives and just take a look around. I took a look around and I just realized that somehow my brain was wired different for many years. I don't know why. All I know is I'm different now. And I realized that, hey, listen, every year there's going to be a tragedy or something that they're saying that you should stock up food on. And you should stock up food on. But to me, to bring home truckload after truckload after truckload of food and then wanting to buy jar after jar after jar to put this food in, and then Mylar bags, oxygen absorbers, dehydrators, all of these things were just adding up. So somebody gave a point, why did you buy some dried food in your last stock up video? to be honest with you, the dried food was cheaper than me running my dehydrator 24/7, 7 days a week. That dehydrator takes a lot of electricity. Now, this year with solar, I'm going to see if I can plug in some of my dehydrators into the solar, then it would be free. But to me, it was cheaper to buy it than to try to grow it and then try to dehydrate it myself. Dehydrators do take electricity. And if you're running a dehydrator for long periods of time, if you want to do massive amounts of food with it, you are going to have a higher electric bill. That's just a case in point. Freeze dryers look amazing, but they are very costly in electricity. I'm trying to do without that all. I don't have a freeze dryer. I could never afford one. But to me, I want less. I don't want to consume so much stuff. And I was just into this rat race and this whole thing about buying stuff. You know, Amazon, they would give you recommendations then and say, oh, I think you might want this and this and this. And before you know it, on a rainy evening where I was not doing anything much, I would go, yeah. Yeah, I do a video and show this, do a video and show that. Well, my audience is lower income. My audience isn't going to buy all that stuff. And I shouldn't have been buying all that stuff either. Now, I have it now. And, you know, it was paid for. We did not go into debt for any of this stuff. But I was just seeing my bills now. So the $800 a month, you know, I did a whole disclosure on that coming up tomorrow. So tomorrow is a very important video. It's a full disclosure on our insurance and taxes and the $800 a month. Oh, I'm telling you everything now. I got to the point where I am just not holding back. And so what I started seeing is that the credit card statement is like this, not like this. So the credit card statement is just like this. There's no Amazon, 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 Amazon. You know, there's no eBay, 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 eBay. You know, there's no thrift books, thrift books, thrift books, thrift books. Now, I did get a free book with thrift books because I had, you know, acquired the points. But, you know, I'm not missing out on anything. In fact, I'm starting to see all of the things that I had. I was so busy buying, that I couldn't even enjoy what I had. I just would buy it, show a video, and boop, put it away. Well, now it's like every evening I'm looking at my books and I'm reading my books and I'm deciding, okay, I read this book. Is it purposeful for me or should I donate it? Is it something I'm going to read over and over and over again? Or if it's something that, you know, I read it once, I took my notes, and then I can move on. So with me, books are educational, and then I take notes on books. But I have so many books at this point in my life that I don't need right now any more books. I mean, I couldn't even read every book, even if I wanted to, I don't think. And the same with the jars and the food, you know. Let's enjoy it. Let's live off of it. Let's have apocalypse now. And so I just can't keep doing it. It's just simply beyond anything I could do. And so when people were criticizing me about maybe some of the things I was doing, some of the things they were right. But you see, it's like overeating. It's like, just stop overeating. You know, they would say, pounds, 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 stop overeating. You can tell somebody all you want not to do something, but the problem is they need to see it for themselves. I needed to see it for myself. And what happened with me was, with the spending, was that the prepping made me to the point where I wasn't eating as much. So I was just pouring that into just prepping all this stuff and buying all these jars and stuff to get to the point where I was keeping my mind off of eating so much. So I was taking one addiction and putting it into another. And so prepping made me broke. It did. I had no money left over for savings. And so now you can see where I'm coming from. And I hope that I gave you some inspiration and just opening this as a conversation, people. It's just a conversation, and I wanted to hear what you have to say about it.